Well, watching sports can be tough. Shaky hands, clenched teeth, and a stomach full of butterflies. But just how stressful is it on your health? We are joined now by Dr. Herb Aronow, Medical Director for Heart and Vascular Health at Henry Ford.
Thanks so much for being here.
It is great to be here. It's an exciting weekend.
Yes.
Maybe some would say a stressful weekend.
Right, a little bit of both. And it's almost tempting to talk about it in kind of a joking way. We've all been there before. Watching this game is just, it's bad for my heart. But in all seriousness, it actually can be.
It can be. Whether you know you have a heart condition or you've never been diagnosed with heart trouble, the stress of the game, especially a game in the wintertime, maybe you had to shovel yourself out of your driveway to get there. Maybe you were tailgating beforehand, maybe you had to climb the stairs, whatever it was, there's a lot of excitement, and that can be tough on the heart.
Yeah, and you feel that stress. I know even with this last playoff, towards the end of it, I was kind of getting really nervous. A lot of people feel that. How do you know when this could actually be a problem, though?
Yeah, and that I think is the hard part for people, right? Whether they know they have a heart issue or not, is to when they start to feel something, is that normal or is that abnormal? Can they put it off till the end of the game, or should they go see somebody right away and be evaluated? I think if you're having a classic symptom like pressure in the chest or shortness of breath, or maybe you've got pain that radiates down your arm, or you feel lightheaded like you're going to pass out, that's pretty easy, right? Those are clearly abnormal. It gets hard sometimes because people can have these unusual symptoms. Maybe they'll be a little nauseated or just a little bit sweaty. I think the bottom line is if you're feeling different than you normally do at baseline and you have no good reason why you should be feeling that way, don't put it off.
Yeah.
Be seen, be evaluated right away.
Very common on game days for people to eat a lot of not so healthy food, maybe imbibing, having a few drinks. Is that making it a more dangerous situation, or is a heart event more the result of just a general lifestyle of
Well, the truth is that both can contribute to that, right? So if you have heart disease already, but you're eating an unhealthy diet, maybe you're drinking a lot and eating high-fat foods, that can certainly trigger events. Mm-hmm. And the alcohol, when not in moderation, can kind of blur your ability to know when there's something going on, know when you need to be evaluated.
I know for people who have heart conditions, it's especially important to be careful, but for those who don't, when they're in these settings, how much can you elevate things just from that excitement and the anxiousness of watching the game?
Yeah, so for those that don't know they have heart trouble, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to be dancing around and all excited, and if they feel okay, then that's great. It's healthy, right? It's okay to be. We encourage people to move around. We encourage activity. But I think if they're feeling as if things aren't quite right, even though they've never been diagnosed with a heart issue, it's certainly possible that one exists and they just didn't know it.
And of course, it's an especially exciting time around Metro Detroit right now, but this is something that is seen around football season on Sundays, kind of across the board, right?
Yeah, there's this phenomenon where when there's big games, maybe it's a World Cup soccer match or it's the Super Bowl, where there is this spike in heart events. Sometimes it's a heart rhythm problem where the heart beats too fast or too slow or irregularly. Sometimes it's a heart attack where all of a sudden the blood flow to a vessel stops and somebody's losing their heart muscle. But all of it is related to the stress of the game. And even though it's great that we have our teams that we root for, and it's positive, it's a positive stress, right? As long as you win. Yeah. It still can be tough on the heart.
All right.
Enjoy the game, but don't end up in the emergency room if you don't have to be.
And any
Be
special
smart.
tips for anyone who knowingly has a heart condition? They're very excited, devoted to this game, going into it. Anything to kind of just set yourself up for success?
Yeah, I think there's the usual stuff, right? Make sure that you're taking your heart meds if you have them. Make sure that you're monitoring your blood pressure. Make sure you're seeing your doctor regularly. On game day, I think just be well rested. Have fun, but do things in moderation. And you don't need to hold back. You can have some fun at the game.
Yeah.
These are exciting times. They don't happen that often.
Yeah, maybe go to bed a little early Saturday night. All right, well, Dr. Aronow, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.